Alright, so welcome back to the Yet Unnamed LOTRO Show, currently being called Middle-earth Tea and Biscuits Club because we have literally no other better name. That's Shank sitting on a rock. As you can see, we're kind of exactly where we were when I went Link Dead the last time we did this. So we're just going to trudge on as if nothing ever happened. Say hi, Shank.
Alright, you guys. This is it. Our final battle. Let's throw down.
Alright.
Wait, I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, I know you don't know where you're going. I was going to see how much longer you would walk down the road before that happened. So Shank, tell the fine viewers what we're doing today.
We are... I don't know.
We're embracing the rubbish, apparently. So, I want to take Shank to the, well, I don't know what it's called, but it's the big bridge right in the middle. Right...
Bridge of Khazad-dûm.
No. We're a bit of ways away from that.
Hold on. I have an idea. Okay, like, go stand in the area, like, on the opposite side of this wall. Okay, ready?
No, I fell down the cliff.
Right, exactly. Perfect.
Oh, wait, okay.
Parkour!
Well, no. Okay, I got the last half of it. Oh, there's a little village down here. I don't think I've ever actually been here. But somebody just leveled up. So, good for Sai Fraser. That's a Middle-earth name.
So is Mightiest.
I don't think I've ever been here.
And you wouldn't have if it wasn't for me.
Yeah, there you go. Shank opening my eyes to obscure Middle-earth locations.
I want to go to that city.
We cannot go to that city. The city in which he's speaking of is not Osgiliath, excuse me, it's Anuminas. But we can't go to that city because I cannot keep you alive long enough for us to go to said city.
I mean, we physically can. There's nothing, like, preventing us
There are level, like, 55 monsters preventing us from physically going into the city.
Right, we can walk around them.
No, that's not how this works. This is an old MMO.
Wait, they're literally standing in the gate, preventing us from moving?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're not supposed to go there until you're that level. I mean, this is old MMO game design.
So how do you get there?
You level up and then you go and kill them.
So every time you go to that city, you have to kill those things?
Yes, it's called respawns.
That's so stupid.
Dude, it's not a city that you can just inhabit. It's taken over.
Oh god! What was that?
It's, biting sandflies. There's a salamander over here too you might want to keep away from.
He looks harmless. You're green.
Yeah, I'm dying of a disease because I killed the biting sandflies for you.
Well, alright.
She now has AIDS.
This looks very, like, not wooded at all.
No, we're getting close to the beach. We're following the road because it's the safest way.
So where are we going?
We're going to the bridge
Of
near
Khazad-dûm?
Anuminas. No. I think it's called the King's Bridge or something like that. It'll tell us when we get there.
Kingsfoil. Ah, it's a weed.
Aye, it's a weed.
Go team.
I mean, I'm literally killing it with music. Crap. What's with you pulling things?
I didn't do any. I'm walking on the road.
Don't get too far ahead.
Why?
Because I'm not with you.
But I'm fine.
I'm having to kill the salamanders you pulled.
I didn't do anything.
You got too close.
How did I get too close? I'm just walking.
It's got an aggro, like, area. If you get within that and you're a low enough level, you'll die. Hence why we can't sneak around the guards next to the gate of Anuminas. There's no sneak mechanic in this game unless you're a burglar, and even then, I don't think you can do it unless you are of level.
I say Bilbo Baggins is a burglar.
You're getting too far ahead.
Gold deposit. You do not have the right craft tool for that. Well, that's lame.
Oh, apparently I'm in combat. What a shock.
Well, I didn't do anything. This This is why it's annoying playing.
No.
What?
Why
What?
are you off the road?
I don't... Where am I going?
We're following the road.
But I saw that cool thing over there.
But we're following the road.
But I saw that thing way over there.
Alright, well, then you're gonna die. And I'm not gonna help you.
How am I gonna die? You're killing stuff.
I just said I'm not going to help you.
Why can't I go to that, like, broken down wall thing?
Because there's monsters.
Right, you kill the monsters.
No, you kill the monsters.
I don't... That's not my job.
That's your job. You're the champion. My job is to heal you, not actually be fighting.
Right, so I walk and you heal me.
So, peace out.
Lame! You just disappeared. I'm frozen in shock. I'm just gonna not move for the next 30 minutes. What the hell?
You want to go to the broken down thing? Let's go to the broken down thing and you'll see how not interesting it is.
See, viewers, you complain enough and you'll get your way.
Yes, lessons you tried teaching my daughter.
Wait, I did that?
Yeah, you tried.
All I remember is that she owes me a 980 Ti.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, sir.
Woohoo! There's like more stuff back here. Cool. Dude, check it out. There's a city thing over there.
Yeah, I actually don't think we can get to that one. No, actually we could.
We can't just swim?
No, we could go there, but that's not where we're going.
Wait, where are we going?
You see the big Argonath looking thing in the distance over there?
Where?
Turn around. Look where I'm facing.
That thing?
Yeah, that's where we're going.
That's not an Argonaut, though. Aren't we, like, way too far west?
Right, that's why I said Argonath-like thing.
Did the dudes that build this build the Argonauts?
Well, that's like the same people, sure. I don't know the exact same craftsmen.
No, I'm saying, like, did the same, like, there must have been some king who commissioned it.
Yeah, well, the Dunedain. Remember, these are all one people. They just happen to be split up.
Did they have a king?
Yeah, the king of Arnor and Gondor. King Elendil, then Isildur, and then it was broken up.
So who commissioned the Argonath?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Well, because my question is the same dude that commissioned that made this?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, because the Argonath was built in Gondor, and at that time, I believe they were separate kingdoms.
But it's not separate now?
No, this kingdom up here doesn't exist right now.
Oh. Well, that's lame. What happened?
The Witch King of Angmar happened.
Dude, can we go to Angmar?
Eventually, sure. I mean, I don't see the not wisdom in taking a level 15 person to Angmar.
Sweet.
I mean, you're never going to level up anyway. So this was actually pretty cool when it was first put in the game. The Argonath is just so much bigger, so much better.
It was bigger than it is now?
Well, no, the Argonath is bigger than this by a long shot.
Wait, I'm really confused. So you're saying this used to be bigger in the game?
This was like the only... Yeah, because the Argonath wasn't in the game yet when this...
Oh.
This was put in like 2007, 2008.
Oh.
This is one of the first updates they did after the game went live.
So is the Argonath in the game now? Like, is it bigger than this?
Yeah, it's much bigger.
Cool. Alright, so where are we, like, on the map?
We're next to Lake Evendim.
We are... I can't even see... our marker. Oh, we're Parth something.
Yeah,
Parthenon. We're near the Parthenon.
We're not near the Parthenon.
That's what it says on the map.
Parth Aduyal.
Right, Parthenon.
King's Crossing, King's Bridge, something like that. That's what this is called.
King's Foil. Ah, it's a weed.
I remember when I used to have to swim across this lake to do any quests. Now they have like a fast travel boat system put in place. But back in like...
Is it like Witcher fast travel?
No, because in The Witcher you actually drive the boat. Hi, King's Crossing. In this it's a fast travel. So like, you're there.
What is this?
This is a ranger
How
camp.
can I be of service?
The Dunedain.
So these are like nice dudes.
Yeah, these are all nice dudes. They're like preparing to go south and fight with Aragorn.
Die.
The Star of Elendil. The Palantir and
Die.
the Scepter of Numenor. That's what the guy's
There's
holding.
a Palantir here?
Yeah, the guy's holding the Palantir and the Scepter of Numenor. No, he's holding a sword, excuse me.
Wait, no, but is there like an actual Palantir here?
There used to be.
Can we go find one?
No, it's not here anymore.
Why not?
Because, like, bad things took it.
What took it?
It's got the Scepter of Numenor and just a sword.
What took the Palantir?
Well, when this was sacked, I'm sure the Witch King is the one who got it.
So like, what's the deal with the Witch King?
He's the chief of the Nine. He's, you know, he's just like, likely what I think he was probably the most elder, most powerful of the men who were ensnared. And so he basically became like their chief, if you can have a chief among like wraiths, whose one purpose is to get the ring. But during, you know, while the ring was essentially hidden, he took up like residence in Angmar and like literally laid waste to the entire north of Middle-earth.
Wow.
So he's like, you know, while we're just kind of waiting for things to happen, I'm gonna make things happen on my own. Likely
When
he was
was
under.
this?
This is
When
like,
was?
I think it was Third Age.
No, but
early-
like in the
early Third Age.
storyline.
It was before, obviously, the Lord of the Rings happens.
Oh.
It was before the Hobbit happens.
Is it before Sauron's destroyed?
But it was after that, because he wouldn't have, like, the Ring Wraith wouldn't have had to like sit there and do nothing for a while.
So what did the Ringwraiths do? Like all that time? Like
Well,
where were
obviously-
they?
I don't know. Probably hanging out in Minas Morgul. Obviously, the Witch King was busy. You're getting attacked by a wolf, and you're running too far ahead, and I can't heal you. I hope that wolf takes out your hamstrings.
Oh God! Oh Jesus! Yep. Nope. Go attack Bradford instead. Go team. You're welcome. I just got a bunch of reputation. I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, it's essentially with every kill we do here, you get reputation with the Wardens of Numinas, which are essentially the Rangers out here.
What are those towers?
They're probably just towers in Arnor. Let's see.
Can we like sail on the lake? Like can we take a boat and
No,
sail?
no, we can't. There's no sailing.
But
You can't drive a boat in this game.
why not?
It's an old game.
They didn't add like boats and stuff,
No.
but they added horses.
Yeah, to their detriment.
Plus 10 reputation.
This is called Thom-Varan, which is likely just like a made-up place for the game. Yeah, this would be a
Cool.
ruin of Arnor, essentially. This was
So what-
likely like an outpost or a city or something on the outskirts of Numinas that was destroyed when the Witch King attacked.
So Arnor was a kingdom of men.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is... Okay, so you obviously didn't rewatch the episode earlier.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think so. So essentially, when the men of... You should have pressed one of those, dude.
Pressed what?
Yeah, never mind. When they fled Numenor, the boats got split up. So Elendil got pushed to the north, and Isildur and his brother Anarion got pushed to the south, and that's how the two realms came to be. So the kingdom of Arnor is obviously a kingdom of men because Elendil and the Dunedain refugees, the Numenorean refugees, settled here. This was like the seat of the two kingdoms. So like you had the two separate kingdoms, but they were under the lordship of the King of Arnor, because the King of Arnor was the elder, was Elendil, Isildur, and Anarion's father.
So they were the Nilfgaardians. I mean, wow, not the Nilfgaardians. The Numenoreans.
Yeah, Numenoreans.
Why did I say Nilfgaardians?
Because you've been playing too much Witcher.
Go team. Get him, Bradford.
I love how you just get like randomly healed because I'm doing stuff.
Good job, Bradford. Wait, hold on, come here. Hold on, where'd you go? Hold on.
I'm apparently still in combat, so...
Wait, hold on. You're playing a harp thing. So, okay, we are, we're north of the statue thing. If we keep going, okay, so if you look at the map, you see this road? If we keep going north on this road, it says 2-4 Okel.
Yeah.
Can we go there?
Yeah, we can.
Is it pretty?
Nope.
Why?
I hate Photocal. It's just a frozen wasteland of nothing. Instead of putting in Photokill, they could have spent more time optimizing Rohan.
What is a pretty place near that we can walk to? North Downs. What's North Downs?
Well, that's where we're walking. It looks a lot like this, except it doesn't have nearly as many, like, Arnorian ruins.
I lost you.
Look at your minimap.
My HUD is off. Oh, hey.
I don't know how you can play with your HUD off. Oh, I forgot, because you're doing nothing but walking.
Hey, I'm providing support. So what are the North Downs? Is that where we're going?
That's where we're going. We're gonna have to go through like some crap to get there, though.
So what are the North Downs?
They're like farmland essentially. With you have a few. The only real thing that's there from the books is Fornost, and that was once a capital of when Numenos was essentially abandoned. That became the capital. And now that's ruined essentially.
So hold on. Numenos was the like central throne of the north and the south.
When Gondor is reestablished with Aragorn, that's where Aragorn, he basically reestablishes the unified realms, and that's where he sets up his throne, is in Numenos.
Numenos? Okay.
Yeah, Gondor, he doesn't rule from Gondor. He rules from Numenos, because that's the ancient seat of like the king of the unified realms.
Who are these guys?
These are likely just kings of old. It doesn't. I don't think it actually says.
Not idly do leaves of Lorien fall.
We're not anywhere near Lorien.
Right, because someone's not taking me there.
Because someone can't take you there. There are physical barriers blocking your entry.
Why can't I like warp in there with you like in GTA into the airport?
Well, we found out earlier that that's no longer the case anymore. Because you haven't done the quests that you need to do to get there. It is gated. It's an MMO.
So like I have to progress a story to get there?
You have to progress the story to get there, yes. Because in your instance of the game, the Hobbits and Gandalf, the Fellowship haven't made it to Moria, so Moria isn't open. So when you finally get to Moria, which is how you get to Lorien, is you have to walk through Moria essentially to get there. When you get to Moria in the storyline, that's after the Fellowship has already been there, and the dwarves have gone in behind them to kind of clean up the mess.
Wait, hold on a second. So it's after. I'm behind the Fellowship.
In your storyline, because you haven't progressed the story in the game, your character is behind the Fellowship. So the Fellowship haven't. In your instance, the Hobbits haven't even made it to Bree yet.
So I'm ahead of the story.
But in terms of going to Lorien, you have to go through Moria, and your character isn't far enough in the story for the Hobbits, for the Fellowship to have gotten there.
Okay, so by the time I get to Moria, where is the story?
The story is like when you're going through Moria, they're relaxing in Lothlorien. That entire ordeal
Oh, okay, okay. So
happens.
I'll be behind
Yeah,
them.
you're
Okay.
we are usually right behind the Fellowship in the story. The only exception is like right now where the hobbits haven't made it to Bree yet, but they do make it like halfway through one of the story quests. So like you're dealing with Aragorn at the beginning of the story quest chain, and then at the end you're dealing with Gandalf because Aragorn has left with the hobbits.
Oh.
So you're always kind of like a step behind them. Then you get to Rivendell and they're all there, and then there's a story quest that you watch the Fellowship leave Rivendell.
Wait, can we go to Rivendell?
I don't know if I can keep you alive, but we can try. I mean, it's going to be a long walk.
So? I don't care.
I care.
I mean, I want to go to Rivendell.
Okay, so that'll be the next episode. Oh, I forgot. This takes us through like all of the dead, like the whites and crap. So that's like a tomb over there.
Like a Dwemer ruin?
Sure, why not?
So in the movies, because I'm obviously rewatching them. Oh God! Oh Jesus Christ! Nope. Nope.
I mean, just keep talking. I can take these guys out easily.
I'm hiding. I don't want to get attacked again.
Where the hell did you go?
I'm hiding.
No, don't hide, because the guys will respawn and you're going to die. Just stay with me.
Now I'm scared to keep going now because they might have respawned.
No, they haven't respawned
I need you to
yet.
come get me.
Just go. No, dude, you can see me. All right, see, if this if this is gonna be nothing but hand holding, I'm just gonna leave you.
No!
You're a grown ass man with weapons. Let's go.
I want to get attacked. North Downs, now entering the fields of Fornost. Cool.
It's like you can clearly see like there's just a bunch of dead things around here. This is like a borrow down, essentially.
So in the movies, because obviously I'm rewatching them, Arwen takes what's his name to Rivendell.
Well, it's actually Glorfindel who takes her, but whatever.
That's what I was gonna say. That's my question. Like, so what? Like, what? How does he like get there?
Well, it's essentially the same thing that happens. Like, there are some like major details left out in the movie because they wanted to give Arwen a stronger role because you don't have very many women in the main storyline, and so they wanted to give her a stronger role. That way, when
But Eowyn's in it.
right, but
She kills the Witch King.
in the early goings, you don't have a strong female. And then, they wanted to make sure that she had some importance when the big coronation scene happens. Like, if you don't know who she is and she doesn't have any importance to the viewers, like when the coronation scene happens and Aragorn is super happy, you have no attachment to it.
She was in Armageddon, everybody knows.
Yeah. So they gave her Glorfindel's spot, and really, it happens a lot. It happens the same. There are some instances, though, like, in the movies, there's the big standoff, where she's like, if you want him, come and claim him, and then that's what causes the raids to come across the river. In the book, it's the Fellowship, like the hobbits and Aragorn coming up behind them with like torches and crap that drive the horses into the river. And then the river
horses
slips
are like
away.
flanked,
Yeah.
basically.
So you have Glorfindel shining like, a bright star because he's an interesting character. He's an interesting character. He's one of the most powerful elves in the story. And he gets like no play. Because you have that scene where Frodo glimpses him as he truly is, one of the Calaquendi. He's one of the high elves. He's lived in Valinor. He's seen the light of the trees. He's this super strong, super powerful. He killed a Balrog elf,
Balrog.
But he also died, killing that Balrog. And
What?
so this is his like reincarnated form.
How is he reincarnated?
Because elves don't die. Their spirits.
You just said he was killed.
So his body can die, but elves are immortal. They're immortal in every sense of the term. Now, normally when they get re-embodied, they're not able to leave the West. They stay in Valinor.
So what happens when Haldir gets killed?
His spirit goes to Valinor, and either he stays in the halls of Mondos until the end of time, or he's re-embodied and he's in Valinor.
So his body's just like dead.
His
then.
body is just dead. Same thing happens to
Somewhere-
Gandalf. You know, Gandalf technically can't die. His physical form can when he's one of the wizards, but he's a Maya. He's on the same level as Sauron. So when Glorfindel kills the Balrog, his spirit is obviously sent back to Valinor, and it's not really specifically stated, you know, why he's back in Middle Earth, because normally that doesn't happen. Normally they're re-embodied and they're left in the West, but he's obviously it's obviously the same Glorfindel.
In the same body?
Probably not the same body. But so yeah, Elrond wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Glorfindel, because Glorfindel.
Oh god!
Glorfindel essentially saves Elrond's father from being killed during the sack of Gondolin. But so yeah, you got the super powerful, super ancient elf lord, whose only role in the main story is to help Frodo get to Rivendell, which is a big role, obviously. I mean, it furthers the story. Frodo doesn't die. He doesn't succumb. Where the hell are we? Oh, gosh. Wrong way.
Oh, Mr. I've played this game.
I haven't been to the North Downs in 3 years. I forgot where I was going with that.
Glorfindel, something had a big...
Oh yeah, okay, so they felt giving Liv Tyler, giving Arwen the role essentially would make her character stronger in the movies, which makes perfect sense, because you don't have another person being thrown into the mix there. But it would have been cool to see Glorfindel in his glory. You know, the way Frodo sees him is like, as if Frodo was wearing the ring, he would have seen like he saw his wraith form without having to wear the ring, because he was obviously punctured by a Morgul blade. He was slipping into that shadow realm, which is a pretty cool thing when you think about it, because Glorfindel is so powerful that he exists in both worlds at once. Basically, like the wraiths do.
So, except he's alive.
Yeah, he's alive.
So how can he be alive but neither living nor dead, like the
Well, he's
Wraith?
not neither living nor dead. His power is such that he dwells in both worlds at the same time,
So
essentially.
like, what does he see?
Probably,
like-
I don't think it's ever specifically said, but he probably sees, like, you know, the shadow realm if he wants. He sees people for who they like truly are. So like if they are one of the high elves, the Caliquendi, who's seen the light of the trees and they've lived in the light of the trees, makes them more powerful than those who haven't. You're going to stand out in the shadow realm because your power is such that you just do.
So
he
like
probably
Galadriel?
sees them. Yeah, Galadriel. When you see Galadriel, you know, essentially saying instead of a Dark Lord, you shall have a queen.
Uh-huh.
She exists in both realms because she has lived in Valinor and in Middle Earth. She's lived under the light of the trees.
So is she... how did that dude kill a Balrog?
He threw him from a cliff. Basically the same way Gandalf killed him. Which further proves
these are like
Balrogs don't have
ludicrously
wings.
powerful creatures, and they can die by literally getting shoved off a cliff.
Well, Glorfindel dies as well. It was probably more complicated than that, but...
Oh god.
It wouldn't let me attack that guy at first. So yeah, these are the North Downs. It'd be better if it wasn't raining.
Can we like clear skies or something?
No, it's not. It's not like that. We'll just have to wait for the rain to stop.
This is actually like way nicer looking than the other place that we just came from. There was just like death everywhere.
Well, yeah, because we're out of the fields of Fornost and we're in Anundir.
And you indeed. Dude,
I spent 3 months in this area when I was leveling up my hunter, and I came to
killing
just hate it.
boars.
What I love about this area though is you have like a lot of like hallmarks back to the old kingdoms. So part of the road essentially, or this might have been an old fort at one point, but you have like the graven stones that were only created because of the might of the Numenoreans. You have broken down roads that still have like the old Numenorean paving stones that have like the trees and the stars of Elendil on them.
They're just like ruins?
They're just ruins, yeah. We're gonna have to go around this mountain.
What mountain? Oh, the one in front of us?
Yeah, because we can't. There's no way we could cross the river, but there's no way to get on the other side.
Yeah. Well, all right. I will lead us to victory.
No, you won't.
So was this? What's the story with him killing the Balrog?
Okay, so Gondolin was like the last vestige of like Elvendom in Beleriand in the First Age.
Okay.
And
wait, that's Gondolin. That's where Sting was forged.
Yeah, that's where Elrond was. That's where Elrond was born, I believe.
Dude, you should be proud of me.
Elrond wasn't born there. His father though, Eärendil was.
You should be proud of me.
I did. I mean, I naturally expect you to listen.
Dude, check that out. I found a bridge.
Yeah, that's a bridge in an orc camp. We're not going to cross that bridge.
But it takes us to the other side.
But we don't want to go over there.
I thought you said we have to go over on this mountain.
I mean... Actually, yeah, no, I'm wrong.
Oh, it's the second time today.
Yeah, actually. This is what happens when you aren't in a zone for a few years. Spent most of my time out in Rovanian. So yeah, essentially like the city is attacked and they're trying to get people out. Eärendil is one of them who's trying to flee with like his mother, I believe. And a Balrog attacks them on like the way to the secret exit, I guess you'd say. And Glorfindel basically fights off the Balrog while Eärendil and his family escape, and the other refugees escape. And in the process, they're fighting, and the Balrog gets thrown off the cliff. Glorfindel goes with it. There's usually like three hallmarks for like killing a Balrog. These are the three things you have to do to kill a Balrog. You have to basically be by yourself. You have to like throw it off a cliff, and then you have to die as well.
Why?
Because that's just all three examples of like Balrogs getting killed. Excuse me. Yeah, 3. Though I don't think Ecthelion is thrown off a cliff. But he dies. Like every single person who's killed a Balrog has also died with it. Gandalf, Ecthelion, and
Is that a rule, or is that just what's happened?
That's just what happened. So I'm assuming it's just like a rule. You know, if you're gonna fight a Balrog, just be prepared to just not live with it.
Is
now, in the case of,
the dude that killed Ancalagon?
Yeah. So
hold on.
Had Glorfindel not saved Eärendil when he was a baby, Ancalagon, in fact, there may not have actually been a reason for Ancalagon to get unleashed, because none of the events that would have happened that led to led to that battle would have happened, because Eärendil was at the center of all of them.
How can a dude that killed literally the biggest thing ever alive, how can he not kill a Balrog?
He was 8 years old.
It's not an excuse.
It's a very good excuse. Like, he wasn't physically capable of fighting a Balrog.
He couldn't go like Super Saiyan. Gohan did that.
Dude, like, totally different universes.
I'm just saying.
Like, I don't think a man of Beleriand could have gone Super Saiyan. That's the most ridiculous thing said this entire episode.
So, now entering Kingsfoil.
No, Kingsfell. So yeah, more ruins of the North Kingdom. being seen. That's why I love Shadows of Angmar so much. The first 5 zones, because you have all of these ruins that you can just see like all of the history crumbling in front of you.
So, what was that about, like, Ancalagon never being unleashed?
Well, because had Eärendil not survived the sack of Gondolin, the siege of Gondolin, the events that transpire that essentially caused the War of Wrath, you know, you had the gosh, what was it? You had the second kinslaying. You had the beseeching on behalf of both kindreds by Eärendil. Eärendil actually sails to Valinor, something that hasn't been done since the fall of Numenor. He basically risks his own life and the life of his crew and the life of his wife Elwig to do so. If it hadn't been for Eärendil doing so, though, the War of Wrath wouldn't have happened, because the Valar wouldn't have come to the aid of men and elves in Beleriand. Therefore, Ancalagon may not have been unleashed. He probably still would have been unleashed because Morgoth is a dick. But
Morgoth is awesome.
but it wouldn't have been in the manner that it was. It wouldn't have been to the point where it basically causes the entire host of the Valar to take a step back. It wouldn't have been like this big dramatic moment in the middle of a battle. It would have just been Ancalagon getting unleashed and then the world just ending.
So why was I still don't understand, like, why was he unleashed? Like, was Eärendil
It was in the middle of the battle.
Savior guy?
Yeah, essentially. It was in the middle. It was in the middle of the battle.
Like, so he had to be saved when he was like 8 years old.
I don't think anyone kind of knew what he was going to do, but yeah, if he hadn't been saved, certain events wouldn't have happened the way that they did.
So he was like a prophet thing.
No, but you got to remember, destiny and fate play a huge role in this story. You know, the fate of the elves is to be bound to the world. They have no control over, you know, their own destinies in terms of, you know, being able to do like great deeds outside of the boundaries of this world. Whereas men, they're not bound to that same fate. Therefore, they have the greater destinies. Eärendil is an example of that. You know, he wasn't bound to the world. He wasn't bound to the music of the Ainur, which was essentially history written before history happened. So the deeds that he did weren't necessarily things that were destined to happen. They were things that he brought about because of his particular, you know, his particular destiny.
So was he a man or an elf?
He was a man. He was half elven. Excuse me. He was half elven. He chose to be counted among the Eldar out of love of his wife, but he would have preferred to be chosen to be counted among like his father, you know, a race of men. But he didn't want to be parted from his wife in the afterlife, essentially. So he chose to be counted. But because he was, you know, part man, he was a man until he made that decision, essentially.
Oh.
Same thing with like Elrond and Elros, Arwen. You know, Arwen can choose. She made her choice to be counted among the race of men when she chose to essentially marry Aragorn and whatnot. She made that choice. That's why it's so sad for Elrond, because he knows his daughter is going to die. Elrond and Elros, they were both half-elven. They're the sons of Eärendil. They had the choice. Elrond chose to be counted among the Eldar. Elros chose to be counted among men. Therefore, you have the line of the Numenorean kings. So
like, basically, this Eärendil dude was like destined to do great things, and he killed like a huge ass dragon.
yeah.
So why was that dragon even unleashed? Like, that's what I still don't understand.
It's the big War of Wrath. It was Sauron's like wild card. Not Sauron. It was Morgoth's wild card.
What was the War of Wrath about?
It was essentially to like take down Morgoth. It was the. You don't remember anything from the shows that we did.
Nope.
It was it was essentially the deciding battle of the First Age. It's when Sauron. I keep saying Sauron. It was when Melkor was chained. It was when he was thrown down and elves and men were basically victorious over him, and he's, you know, yada yada yada. It's what broke. It's why Beleriand no longer exists. It's this big battle that literally broke the continent. It included the armies of men, elves, dwarves, orcs, goblins, dragons, Balrogs, the Valar themselves.
That is right.
It was this like massive. It was the kind of battle that you want to see on the big screen.
But what started it? Like, what was the? I'm still trying
What
to
started
understand.
was the 1,000-year history of Morgoth killing all the elves.
So like
The Silmarillion. The Silmarillion is the story of basically leading up to that battle.
Okay. What was like the first shot of that thing?
Morgoth killing Feanor's father and Valinor.
Balls. Okay. So then he killed him, and then like all the
So,
the
like,
big alliance just attacked.
No, it wasn't a big alliance. Th- there's an entire book in between those two events that you just have to read.
I don't want to.
Or we'll just have to have more episodes because it's just way too complicated and convoluted to discuss.
I just want to know how Ancalagon is like so badass. I want to see Ancalagon just like destroy stuff.
Well, he doesn't destroy many things because he kind of dies.
How long was he like unleashed?
It doesn't say.
How long was he like being bred for?
Doesn't say.
But that's very detailed, Bradford.
I mean, to Tolkien, that was a footnote.
I mean, he's literally the huge. You can't create like literally the biggest dragon ever and like just write it off.
You pretty much did.
God damn it! Things like it's literally things like that like piss me off about Tolkien.
Well, to him, it wasn't like this. It was a big moment. I mean, obviously, the unveiling of Ancalagon, the first winged dragon, is a huge moment in the history. But he doesn't survive the battle. He's killed by Eärendil and the host of eagles, and he doesn't survive very long. His body ruins 3 mountainsides. That's pretty huge. But this is the same guy who also takes the entire history of Numenor and only devotes like 40 pages to it. You have this entire 4,000, 3,000 year history of this possibly the greatest race of men to ever live in Arda, and you don't devote more than like a chapter. And this is something that's not specifically Tolkien. I mean, Secret History of the Mongols talks about this great cavalry ride by Subadai, one of Genghis Khan's generals. They devote a mere 3 sentences to it, and it's a scouting raid that almost brought Europe to its knees back in the 1200s. You know, there's books and books and books written about it by the Europeans. To the Mongols, it was a footnote. So he's not alone in doing so. To him, I'm sure he had other things written about Ancalagon that have never seen the light of day. But in terms of when Christopher Tolkien went about setting out the Silmarillion and editing it, was the best way to possibly convey what he needed to convey. It was this big-ass dragon that got killed right away.
I want to see him wreck stuff. Just break everything.
See, for me, like the perfect prequel to the Lord of the Rings. I don't know where we're going. I'm just following you. I know where we're going, but I'm just following you. I'm just waiting to see how long it takes you to like die.
I won't, because I'm just gonna stand here until you heal me.
Okay. So like for me, like the greatest way you could do a prequel to Lord of the Rings movies is not The Hobbit, but to do like a Silmarillion movie, but not necessarily the entirety of the Silmarillion. You actually make a movie on the fall of Numenor. Dude, this is gonna be funny. But in the movie that I kind of pictured, and I'll be honest, I didn't come up with it. Yeah, you totally just handed him off to me. It's something that Helge Faustkanger, he's the guy who runs artalambion.com. Totally just hid behind high grade rich iron deposits. He goes into like this awesome movie idea, and in the movie idea is a depiction of Ancalagon.
You can't create something like that huge and just not even talk about it. Like I want to see this.
Like I said, there's no one's saying that Tolkien didn't write anything about him. I'm just saying that in terms of how the Silmarillion was edited after his death, that didn't make it in the story.
this needs to be a movie just so I can see this dragon just like absolutely
Well, then-
just like
Then go
wreck
make the movie.
everything. I don't know where we're going.
Yeah, I think this is a good ending spot so that when we respawn back into the game, you're just in immediate peril. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the aimless wanderings of episode 2. Say goodbye, Shank.
Mela.